today we're talking with Kirk Nobles from Google Pixel. Kirk, so happy to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing great, Neil. Thanks for having me on. Good to be together again.
I'm so happy to see you again. And of course, today we're talking about Pixel, what Pixel Watch number 4, and the whole big new range of Pixel 10, which of course includes the foldable again, does it not?
It does. We have the Fold now, the Pixel Fold, all the latest and greatest software, latest and greatest features, and it's been a really good addition to the lineup.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So listen, you and I were talking earlier, and you gave me a bit of a laugh when I asked you about what did you want to focus on the most, and you said the fact that Google has its own smartphone called Pixel. And I
Yeah,
laughed. But then, of course, there are people out there that don't really know that the Pixel exists, or if they've seen the name, they don't realize it's a Google device.
yeah, yeah, and that's the piece. Like when we were talking, when we want to know information or need to reference anything, it's just a part of the culture. Hey, Google it, right? But then from a hardware standpoint, we just don't realize that Google actually has the Pixel devices, and uh, and with that, we have an entire ecosystem. So you got the cloud, you have the hardware for your handset, you have all the software, you got the platform, the Android platform. So it's really an all-inclusive ecosystem that if we add that last piece, the handset to our lifestyles, then we will be, have a complete ecosystem that we can rely on.
Let's delve a bit deeper into that because, of course, I've got the previous model, the Pixel 9 here, and it's so easy to get
Yeah.
into Google Docs and Google Spreadsheet and Google Drive, etc. Tell us a little bit more about this integration between the Pixel smartphone and the whole Google environment.
Yeah, yeah. So, of course, Gemini is our Google Assistant. It's our personal assistant, right? And so with Gemini, it is integrating, it's simplifying so many things in our lifestyle and actually working across apps. So there's a really cool feature called Magic Queue. And
Hmm.
say for instance, if you had a text message and I text you, I say, "Hey Neil, what time is your flight? You coming to visit? We're going to hang out for the weekend. What time is your flight?" Well,
Yes.
in that text message app, instead of you having to leave the text messaging app and go to your calendar or say to your email to find that flight reservation, Magic Queue will go and find that information for you and bring it to the text application. So it's actually, and so all you have to do is make sure that's the right flight that we're talking about, and bam, you just send the reply, and it does that throughout the entire device. So no matter which application you're in, it can help us. It assists you with continuing to just be productive throughout the day. So, but that starts with just the integration of the technology into the platform.
Yes.
We like to say it's built in because we own the Android platform. It's built in instead of built on, right? So some of the other OEMs that are using the Android platform, they're adding features and technology on top of it, where Google is able to actually integrate it into the platform, which makes it much more seamless and user-friendly experience.
Mm. I've always disliked that term seamless because I think it's overused, but I think in this case it's absolutely appropriate.
Yes.
Because I'll tell you, here at Connectus, of course, we're using Google Drive and that infrastructure all of the time. So I can be traveling, sitting in an airport, or I can be in a restaurant, or just anywhere at all. The kids are playing and such like, and I can just use my smartphone. And Rick's sharing a document, or within the organization, we're sharing a document, and within a couple of button presses, I can be in that document and editing it, and of course
Yes.
fixing everybody's American English to make it sound British. No, that's not true. Just giving my input on the fly. It's so
It's
easy.
so productive. It
Yeah.
allows you to be so productive on the go, and the thing about it, like you said, everybody's using Google Docs. You're using Gmail. You're using um, Google Sheets. You're using all the workspace applications, already in our in our lives and in work environment. We just
Mhm.
just from a hardware standpoint, we just need to really like people to adopt the Pixel as their hardware, so you can have the full experience.
No.
Yeah,
Conversely, on the other hand, something else I really love about the Pixels is they don't come with the bloatware. They don't come with the overlay skin that you see
stock
with
Android.
brands as well. Yes, stock Android, as it
Yeah,
were. I mean, Google is the Android company.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very out of the box, very clean user experience. So there's no extra bloatware, there's no extra applications on there that you may or may not use, games and that sort of deal. It's just stock Android. You open it up out of the box and you get the pure Android experience. And then if you want to download or customize it, you can still do that. And that's been the bedrock of Android. It was just an open platform, and it was all about the individual user from the very beginning. It's always been about you and your user experience versus build them kind of the old Ford model. Hey, you can have any color you want as long as it's black. You
Yeah.
know, we're not like that. You can customize your device the way you want it, and so we just give you this canvas, and you add what you want on it, which is great.
Good, good. Now, one of the things that I did with this particular phone, which again is the nine, not the 10, I had a choice between a physical SIM card and an eSIM, and I decided to go with the eSIM because just occasionally, not necessarily with this phone, but with older phones, occasionally I've had difficulties with the physical SIM card. So understand that at least I think it's maybe three models in the family are eSIM only.
Yeah, so it's have the eSIM only, and the kind of benefit of that is, and I found it. You can, instead of having to pop the SIM card out and that sort, you can just activate it, or be able to manage your device
Mm,
over the airwaves instead of having an actual physical SIM.
okay.
So I think and that's kind of where technology is headed. We're seeing that. It's congruent with our lifestyles.
Yeah.
A lot of the paper trail, so to speak. Everything's going digital. So I think the eSIM was just the next evolution of activating and managing
Yeah.
hardware
Why
versus
not?
having
Why
actually
not?
exactly. So
Apart from the fact that my fat fingers were was always making the micro sim fall on the kitchen floor.
yeah,
But it's another potential place for the ingress of water, which is a nice little segue, because our long-term viewers all remember you, Kirk, in particular, for having the fish tank and doing the demonstration with the smartphone and the fish tank.
yeah, yeah.
But these Pixel 10s, they've also got the IP68 standard. Can you tell everybody a bit more about this, please?
Absolutely. So it's beauty meets brawn. Um, so the IP68 rating, which means it's waterproof, and it can be submerged at 6.5 feet if it happens to get submerged in water. If you have a client or customer that works out in the elements, they have drivers maybe out there work out in the elements. If it happens to get a little damp, no problem. It's going to be able to withstand that. Of course, if they're rough on them, they drop them. They do have the drop rating as well. So it's still a ruggedized. I wouldn't say a ruggedized device, but it can be used, in outdoor, environments where you can don't have to worry about uh, the device crashing or being damaged by working out in the elements. So it's still a very durable device.
So, I mean, Pixel, Google has been talking a lot about a generational leap in the AI, but I believe other things have been upgraded too. So, my understanding is that the wireless charging system has been upgraded for this Pixel 10 family.
Yeah, yep. So we got the latest and greatest wireless charging. In the past, the Qi charging has been it's more of a trickle charge. Very slow. But
Mm,
with the newer technology built into the device can charge very quickly. And then even on the charger itself, we have the fast charging. If you do the Type C charging, and
mhm.
it can get a full charge in a matter of 30 to 40 minutes, which is really unheard of in the industry as far as
Yes.
again keeping you on the go, keep it up with your lifestyle. You don't have time to wait and wait for a battery, charge. Wait 2 hours, an hour for your battery charge. If you're out and about, you can plug it in or use the Qi charging and get a very very quick charge in a matter of half hour or less.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Now, when we were going through the slides a few minutes ago with Shelley, she also showed us the new version of the watch. And I understand that the watch also has the much tougher glass on the front of it that's
The
also
Gorilla Glass.
on the smartphone. Yes, Gorilla Glass.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So all of the products, like I said, they're designed to keep up with the active lifestyle. So the whole mobility piece is we're taking that to heart. So you got your phone, you're using your phone. You like you said earlier, you're able to access documents on the go. Don't need to stay stationary in front of a laptop or tablet. You can receive those updates on your device. So if you're on your watch, so if you're in a meeting or you don't want to necessarily have to look down at your
Yeah.
smartphone, you get those same updates on your watch. You can reply back. You can set standard kind of standard replies or custom replies. Program those into the watch, so you can just reply back. And then, again, it allows you to stay mobile, productive on the go, and kind of be discreet about it. So
Yeah.
it looks really good. The watch looks really clean design. So
Sure does. You know, talking about social mores, just for a moment. A lot of people get upset if we're in a meeting and we're talking one on one, or even socially out in a restaurant, and you do this such like it's very obvious when you pick up your phone, and people get upset when they lose your eye contact and you seem to be paying attention to the phone rather to them. I'm
right,
noticing that people can glance down very briefly at their watch and get enough information to determine if this inbound text or call or whatever is important enough to respond to, or if it can wait for 10 or so minutes. So, I mean, I think this is another plus which we should be pitching to
yeah,
our business customers as well.
absolutely, absolutely, and that's what it's about. You want to be, depending on if you need to be hands free, you work out in an environment, or you have employees that are working out, and they necessarily don't have the ability to hold a handset.
Yes,
Absolutely, look down, see if it's a quick glance. It's something they can reply back to for a manager or someone back at the office, uh, or even driving. Just if they're
mm,
driving the vehicle and they don't want they don't want to have to actually physically hold a device, they can glance down at their watch, see if it's something they can reply back to when they get to the next stopping point. Uh,
yes,
so it's again, you're staying connected, but connected in your own way, which
yep.
is what it's all about.
Love it, love it. Talking about the watch and the smartphone family, I understand there's been another upgrade in the battery and the life of the battery before it requires charging.
Yeah. So again, we're putting the latest and greatest hardware. The battery, it goes up to it charges quickly, but also maintains a charge. I can literally use my device uh, a good 24 hours on the go without before it actually gets down to less than 5%, and that's not even with it on battery saver mode. That's just the regular productive day on the go, taking phone calls, emails, browsing, doing my regular routine. And at the end of the day, in 24 hours, I can still have some battery life available.
Fantastic.
So that battery is state of the art, and but also it's you got a more efficient processor, the Tensor 5. You have all those elements that are working together for to make the device more efficient. So
Something else I like about the Pixel family is there is a good spread of different prices. So one is not forced to pay, the 1.3 grand if you feel
yeah,
it's appropriate for your company. But talking about pricing, I understand there is an offering with the Pixel 9 and the Pixel 9a specifically for your DSP business customers. Can you tell everyone a little bit about that?
yeah, yeah. So we do have a special offer for Amazon DSP customers. The 9A and the 9 are free. Uh, for when you sign up with the DSP using the DSP promotional plan, which I believe is $20 per month, which is very, very affordable for a startup customer that needs to this cost sensitive as far as the cost of starting up the business. So uh, the cool thing about it, Neil, is that 9 and the 9A, they exceed the Amazon DSP requirements for their upgrades for the using the Amazon Flex app and beyond. So um, if you by going choosing the Pixel 9 or the 9A, you're really future proofing your lineup, because it's the features and the specs of those devices are they exceed the minimum requirements for Amazon as they are for when they upgrade in 2026. But along with that, Neil, we have just one other note as far as that. Uh, Pixel offers 7 years of support, 7 years of support, software and security updates once you from the day of purchase. So again, future proofing your lineup. You buy a phone today, any new features that come out or security updates that come out over the next 7 years, they will automatically be downloaded or available to you on your hardware. So it's a great investment as far as your cost of ownership.
Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, seven years
That's
of
unheard of.
it is unheard of. Yeah, operating system upgrades and security upgrades. It's that's an industry first. And now that businesses are not renewing every 2 years or every 3 years, and you're trying to get your maximum return on investment, I think that's very, very compelling for all of our partners to be pitching to their business customers.
Yeah.
Kirk, so happy to have you on again. It's great to see you. Thank you. Thank you for coming on and speaking with us today.
So thank you, Neil. Thanks for having me. It's been great chatting about the Pixel, and of course, always a pleasure just to talk with you. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Right back at you. Take care.